Stephen, how do you rate that performance today?
I think it's really strong and solid. Our first half. I think really, just in light of the last couple of weeks, how big they've been for us as a footy club emotionally, coming off a 5-day break, coming off Alice Springs. So this one was, on paper, it might have suggested just rock up today, but considering even our history at Gather Round, that was hard work today, and I thought our first half we got to work and set the game up for us.
How important was it to get that luck in the first half when you were coming off 5-day break?
You're not really sure. I think you just sort of, it was that and a bit of the weather that might have set in as well. It was we wanted the boys to we sort of knew, obviously come off the King's birthday game, that was a big game for us. This one was probably one where Essendon could show some respect for Neil as well, so not to underestimate how they'd be up and about for it. So rather than sit back and wait and see what the opposition are going to give you, get on the front foot and give it your best early.
Signs early when Max Gorn's pulling out those party tricks?
I'm not sure about party tricks, but Max is obviously really tight with Neil. He's the captain of our footy club. He's one of the best players in the competition. So to get a bit of momentum through a couple of our better players early, I thought Cozzy, the way he started as well, getting tagged, just working through that, and Max keeping that ball in our front half for us was that lifted the group and probably put a buzz around the ground.
Did you feel you left a few out there in the first half just in terms of the goal kicking? I mean, over the game, 13-17?
Yeah, to have 30 scoring shots, I think it's a great thing for us. I think I wouldn't underestimate how swirly it was out there pre-game. I'm like, this is difficult conditions. But that's always a work in progress. And we have some games where we probably shoot above expected score. Today, we probably left a few out there, but that's the game. And again, it might be a fatigue thing off 5 days. So we'll make sure we regroup and recover well for the challenge that lies ahead for us.
Must have been pretty impressed with Joel Fitzgerald in his debut game, and also Lucas too.
Yeah.
Went off early, but had some nice moments.
Yeah, I thought both, although both debuting, both 22 years of age, pretty mature, have dominated state league footy now for a while, and I think Fitzy's the form he's in around finding the footy, contributing, but just his strong body, he didn't look out of place at all in there, and that's going to add significant depth to our midfield now moving forward. So he looks like he's really comfortable at the level, and Lucas, albeit unfortunately getting injured with that cheekbone, he looked really promising early with intercepting the footy, and I think both are going to be really good players for our footy club for a long time, which is great.
How hard is it for them to sort of pick up your program off like 2.5 weeks prep sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a challenge. We drafted them on a Wednesday night for the mid-season draft, and we were up at Alice Springs 2 days later, and I think I caught up with them the following week feeling like I hadn't even really met them properly yet. So it is a challenge. I think it's also, for me, we try and make the game as simple as we can for our players. So there was obviously things that probably going over their head, like what are they talking about? But probably a credit to their peers, their teammates around, making them feel comfortable first and foremost, and then giving them the confidence just to be themselves to play. We don't want to make the game too complicated, and especially coming in, I think for them, just do what you do really well, what you've done for the last couple of years at state league level, that'll be enough.
There was a couple of moments late, Fritsch going back, take a mark in D50, and then also that Jake Lever smother.
Yep.
When the game was already won, maybe you could say things we probably may not have seen being celebrated as much by Old Demons side. So how much do you does that speak to how much the culture's kind of shifted at the club and the way that the group's feeling?
Yeah, I'm not sure around culture shifting. I think when I got in here, I wanted us to be a team that was ruthless, selfless and connected. And that's something I rate pretty highly. Whether we win a game or lose the game, I always go looking for those acts. And I feel like, those two instances from pretty experienced players, as a coach, it makes you really proud that, on a 5-day break, they're willing to dig deep and play the game out. That's a really good sign. That becomes contagious and addictive. Hopefully our fans see that and are as impressed about that as they are running goal from 50. I think that's the stuff that makes good teams great teams, and that's what we're aspiring to be, is a really good team in this competition. And you just can't take for granted those things that really, they're the important things. So I'm glad you've recognised them. I'm glad, I certainly as a coach put those actions up in lights, because that's the stuff that makes teams great.
Harrison Petty hamstring issue?
I think a bit of awareness late, so he had some ice on it before. Fingers crossed he rocks up for a scan and it's clear, but the likelihood of that is, if you have to come off, there's probably something there. So that's disappointing because I know the stats sheet for Pets wasn't jumping off the page, but I loved his game. I thought the way he competed for 4 quarters, even doing it up in the forward end of the ground, was really important for us today as a team. So hopefully it's good news. Worst case, he probably misses before our bye, and then we move on and get him back. So it's not too bad.
How did you deal with the emotion of Neil leading into the game? Was that a big factor?
For this game today, I think it's been a big 2 weeks. So today almost felt like we're honouring his football legacy, not the whole MND cause, but what he's done, even in footies, pales into significance compared to what he's done to unite the whole country and the world really for MND. So it was pretty emotional week, and then Checkers as well. That again is another layer of emotion, and for us, I think a reminder to all of us how lucky we are, and the players especially, to play this game. So we had a little bit of Checkers with us today, knowing he's at home and won't be with us for at least this year with his neck. So we're thinking of him as well as much as Neil today.
Were you worried about being flat?
Yeah, of course. I was a bit edgy this morning driving in. I was a bit short at home. Probably because it's a game on paper you're expected to win, and we dropped this one against Essendon last time. We knew they'd come out and fight for Neil as well. And they were really competitive last week. So, you've got to rock up. No one gives you 4 points. You've got to go and earn it. So, off the back of that, and you traditionally never been great off the back of Alice, there was always a bit of a concern, but just kept trying to bring it back to process and what's really important around those actions you spoke of earlier, bringing that to life early, and hopefully could build some momentum off that. So to the boys' credit, they looked a little bit fatigued during stages, but the way they fought the game out was really impressive.
Is that a bit of a player-driven thing to just be around my check at the hospital and just keep checking in on him?
I think he's at home now, which is great. So I popped around yesterday to see him, and he's in pretty good spirits for what he's gone through. He's really lucky, but he's up walking, which is great. It's for what it could have been. I think all the boys understand and realise it's that balance between giving Checkers enough space to deal with what he's going through, and then I think the big test will be hopefully he can come in during the week. I think the next few weeks we've got to make sure we continue to be there for him and his family. That's going to be really important. But we've got a really good group of players that care for each other, and that's an organic thing that's really starting to gain some momentum now. We've got really good leaders that care for their group, and we'll make sure that Checkers is front and centre with everything we do for the rest of this year.
You're now 9-5 with a week to go before the bye. What are your goals and hopes for the back end of the year?
I just want to allow my eyes to Adelaide in 7 days, so we get an opportunity to go on the road and play a team that's hit a fair bit of form. So, for us, the challenge of going interstate, I'd love us just to really attack this week and get ourselves up for that opportunity to play Adelaide over there. I feel like that'd be a great challenge for us, and a real opportunity to probably then sit back at the bye and work out where we're at. But we've done an enormous amount of work. Our players have been unreal at embracing a new way of playing, and that doesn't guarantee anything to this stage. But to sit here now 9-5, I'm more looking at an opportunity to go 10-5 next week. If we could do that and then regroup and see what's in it for the rest of the season, that'd be great.
Just quickly on Mac's shoulder, seemed okay?
Yeah, seemed pretty good today, yeah. So, as I said, that'll be grumbly for a couple of weeks, but, he'll get through the bye pretty well, and, there's no way he was missing today's game off a 5-day break. He would make sure he played, and I thought the way he led from the front set the tone.
What about Lucas' cheekbone? What's going to be the next step there?
Yeah, we've had a couple of those early in the year. He's in hospital now, so I'm not sure exactly what the injury is, except it's cheekbone. So whether it's just there's a fracture there or it's been decompressed, they need to fix it up. So I saw him at half time. He was a little bit uncomfortable, but those things, as brutal as it sounds, tend to recover pretty quickly. So hopefully, if it's an operation, he can get back in a couple of weeks. But again, we'll wait we'll get the update tonight when the docs go and check in and see exactly what's happened.
Thanks, Vicky.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.